Canyon National Conservation Area is 48,438 acres of public land designated to conserve and protect the wildlife, plants, rocks, and cultural resources of the area. It is managed by the Bureau of Land Management and located south of Henderson, Nevada. The main attractions of Sloan Canyon are hiking and viewing the natural resources. The most popular place that visitors hike to is Petroglyph Canyon. The various hiking trails are located in Dutchman Pass, Black Mountain, Petroglyph Canyon, and Hidden Valley areas. The Sloan Canyon Petroglyph Site is one of the most significant cultural resources here in southern Nevada. The petroglyphs are the centerpiece of Sloan Canyon.
We're standing at Cowboy Trailhead about a half a mile from the parking area. This is the designated route into Petroglyph Canyon. One of the main reasons that Sloan was established as an NCA was because of the abundance of rock art in the canyon. Most of the rock art there is made up of geometric designs, which date to about 1,000 years ago, and historic designs, which probably date to around the late 1800s. While we do not know the meaning of the rock art here, it does not diminish its importance as a cultural shared value. We ask that while you are visiting Sloan, that you please help us to preserve this shared treasure by taking as many pictures as you would like, but not touching or disturbing the rock art.
Sloan Canyon offers a variety of hiking and recreation opportunities for visitors to explore and experience in this unique area.
There are a number of recreational opportunities to participate in while visiting Sloan Canyon National Conservation Area. From going on a hike, mountain biking, or horseback riding along one of the 44 miles of trails currently under construction, to wildlife viewing, photographing this amazing scenery, or learning about the past by visiting Petroglyph Canyon. In order to ensure these opportunities are around for the enjoyment of future generations, some management guidelines have been put in place. For instance, OHVs, ATVs, dirt bikes, and other forms of motorized recreational activities are not allowed within Sloan. While these activities are not allowed within the conservation area, there are a number of other places close by where these activities can be enjoyed. The other thing to keep in mind when visiting Sloan is the area is being managed to remain somewhat primitive. Amenities are very limited, and access to some areas will require high clearance or four-wheel drive vehicles. That means campgrounds, restrooms, and drinking water are currently not available, so please plan ahead. While Sloan is less than 30 minutes from Las Vegas, it's within walking distance from some neighborhoods in Henderson and still offers impeccable opportunities for solitude. We know you'll enjoy your escape from the city while in Sloan, so contact our office and plan your visit today.
The peace and solitude of today's Sloan Canyon contradicts its violent volcanic past. Sloan Canyon provides a unique opportunity to view these extinct volcanic forces up close.
An important aspect of the geology of Sloan Canyon are the rocks that you see here. These rocks tell a very interesting story. In fact, they tell a story of a very violent past for Sloan Canyon. These rocks were produced by the eruption of 7 volcanoes, and directly behind where I'm standing is the Mount Sutter volcano, and this is the volcano in which the petroglyphs are actually inscribed. And this volcano is composed of a rock called dacite, and dacite is a very viscous, very sticky sort of lava that comes up just like toothpaste being squeezed from the tube. You squeeze toothpaste, it stands up above the tube, then it sort of crumbles, and that's exactly what happened here. And Mount Sutter is actually composed of a whole series of these domes, and these eruptions were very explosive and were very similar to eruptions that you might see in Mount St. Helens.
Sloan Canyon is located in the Mojave Desert, and because of its minimally impacted nature and unique features of the landscape, it exhibits a broad spectrum of wildlife.
Despite the extreme climatic conditions of Sloan Canyon, several species of reptile, mammal, and avian wildlife are able to persist in this desert environment. Almost as unique as the species themselves, however, are the unique physical, behavioral, and physiological adaptations that many of these species display. The desert tortoise and several other reptile species spend much of their time in burrows underground. Species such as the black-tailed jackrabbit have long ears that are extremely vascularized, allowing for them to increase or decrease blood flow to either cool the animal or to warm it up. And finally, the bighorn sheep can lose up to 20% of their body mass in just a few days during the summer months when temperatures are over 100 degrees. A quick visit to a permanent water source and those bighorn can regain that body mass in as few as 4 hours.
Despite the harsh, dry, desert environment, plants are able to survive here because of their unique adaptations.
Sloan Canyon National Conservation Area has plants typical of the Mojave Desert. Now, the Mojave Desert averages only 3 inches of precipitation per year, and that makes it the driest of all the major deserts in North America. Usually the precipitation is in the winter and the summers are dry, but occasionally precipitation can occur in the summer, which results in a wonderful display of wildflowers in late summer and early fall. All plants need water to survive, and plants in the desert have developed strategies to help them cope with drought. Some plants are drought tolerators, some plants are drought evaders, and some plants are drought avoiders, and I'll give you examples of these. Drought tolerators endure the drought. They are active all year long. Examples of drought tolerators are creosote bush, which is one of the commonest plants in the Mojave Desert. Other examples include cactus and various species of yucca. Now, they can tolerate the drought because they have very small, leathery leaves, or they have long leaves that are impervious to losing moisture. Also, cactus can store water in their stems, which helps them to conserve water. Now, a drought evader is leafy in the spring when water is abundant, but if it gets too dry, they can lose their leaves, thus they conserve water. Drought avoiders flourish when water is plentiful. They produce abundant seed, which falls to the ground, awaiting for favorable conditions. And examples of drought avoiders are wildflowers.
Volunteering at Sloan Canyon will help exhibit stewardship of your public lands and will also help preserve the beauty of the area.
I've been volunteering out at Sloan for the last couple of years, and I found it to be a very interesting and rewarding experience. When you volunteer out at Sloan, you're going to be working with Bureau of Land Management personnel, assisting them in areas where they just need a little extra help. I like to hike, so a couple of my favorite volunteer activities are acting as the assistant hike leader during BLM-led hikes and trail monitoring. But if you're not into hiking, there's still a lot of great volunteer opportunities. For example, you might want to get involved in the public outreach events or litter pickup. Another area you might be interested in are what I call pop-up events. These are one-time events that just kind of pop up every now and then and need some volunteer assistance. In fact, that's the type of project we're doing today. In the Hidden Valley area of Sloan, there are a lot of four-wheel drive Jeep-type trails that crisscross the valley, and they can be very confusing to people who aren't familiar with the area. So what we're doing out here today is putting in these trail markers to indicate the best route from the main road out to the Hidden Valley trailhead. But now that you know a little bit more about the volunteer opportunities out at Sloan, if you think you might be interested in something like this, contact the Sloan Canyon Volunteer Coordinator and go ahead and sign up. I think you'll be real glad you did.
I hope you have the opportunity to come out to Sloan Canyon and enjoy the quiet vistas and mystery of the intriguing landscape. If you have further questions, please call 702-515-5350 for assistance. Come and discover Southern Nevada's hidden treasure for yourself.